In my last video, I showed you how to identify innovation opportunities based on customer feedback, unmet needs in your marketplace, and industry trends. Today, I'm going to show you how to take those innovation seeds and transform them into new products or new product features that give your company a competitive edge. Hi, my name is Steve Sponseller. I've been an intellectual property attorney for more than 20 years, and during that time, I've had the opportunity to work with hundreds of companies, just like your company, to help them identify, develop, and protect innovative ideas that distinguish their company in the marketplace. Now that you've identified several innovation opportunities based on the last video, I'm going to show you 3 activities you can start doing today to turn those ideas into innovation solutions that can give your product or service a competitive edge. The first activity you can start doing is to conduct regular brainstorming sessions. Now, there are a lot of different systems and a lot of different ways you can conduct brainstorming sessions, and you should try out a few different ones to see which style fits best with your company and with your culture. But a couple important things to keep in mind, regardless of how you do these meetings, is first, the size is important. You really want about 5 to 7 people for most of these brainstorming sessions, because it's small enough that everybody gets a chance to contribute their ideas. And if you get into some of the bigger ideas or bigger groups, I've noticed that some people either don't get a chance to contribute or they're a little intimidated. They don't want to toss their idea out there because they don't want to look stupid. But a smaller group, it's a little more intimate, and you're going to get a lot more ideas out of the group. The second thing you'll want to do is include people from different parts of your business. Obviously, the development team, the engineering team, those are important people to have in that meeting. But you also want people from customer service and from sales and possibly marketing, because they have a different view on your industry. They have different types of interaction with your customers, and they can really contribute a lot to the brainstorming process. So try out different brainstorming styles and see what's the most effective for your company. A second activity you can do to start developing innovative solutions is to look at incremental changes. Now, in the newspaper and the press, you'll see a lot of articles about big innovations, revolutionary things that are maybe going to disrupt an entire marketplace. And those are exciting, and that's why they get reported on. But they're also complex and take a lot of development time and work. You can come up with very valuable innovations that are small changes to an existing product. Maybe it's a new feature. Maybe you make some modifications to the user interface based on customer feedback so that it's more user-friendly and easier to learn. Maybe you provide a quick start guide or a quick reference guide with your product to get new customers up to speed quickly and overcome maybe some of the current frustrations they're having on learning to use your product. So think about small changes that you can make that'll address some of the problems that you've identified, either with your product or in your marketplace. A third activity is to look outside your own industry. Now, Seth Godin has one of my favorite quotes on this topic. He says, "Innovation is often the act of taking something that worked over there, meaning in a different industry, and using it over here." So don't just be stuck on how things are handled or how problems are solved in your own industry right now. Look at other industries. They may not face the exact same problem, but how are they solving similar problems or related problems? Now, Henry Ford is a perfect example of this. He is not credited with inventing the car. There were already other companies making cars at the time that he got into the business. What he's credited with is changing the way cars are made. So he looked around and saw how other companies were manufacturing cars, and at that time it was usually a team approach. A group of people worked to assemble almost an entire car just by themselves in one location. He looked to a completely different industry, the meat processing industry, and used something that they had applied, which was the moving assembly line, and brought that back to the automotive industry, to the way you build cars. So he began building cars using a moving assembly line where different people had different stations along the assembly line and would perform different tasks. Because of that, the cost to produce the cars was significantly less. So he could sell the cars at a much lower price point and still be profitable. And that lower price point opened up a huge market. Instead of cars being a very kind of a high-end thing just for the very exclusive rich people, now it was coming down more to a middle class type product that a much larger market and many people could purchase. So Henry Ford did just what Seth Godin says. He was the act of taking something that worked over there in a meat processing industry and brought it back to his own industry. And his company's been very successful. So these are three things you can start doing today to start developing your own innovative solutions. In my next video, I'm going to talk to you about how you can set up a system for recording and tracking all of your innovation opportunities, all the solutions you develop, and the other ideas that come up during brainstorming sessions, so you can get everything recorded, track it all, so that nothing falls through the cracks. So keep watch for that video on my YouTube channel and on my blog. Thanks.